Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant. Today we are going to discuss a rook endgame and we are going to see what would be the plan for white here. This position is white to play. Both have got equal pawns, but we can see the white rook on 7th rank is cutting off the black king. So let's see what is the plan for white. With precise play, black would have achieved a draw. We will discuss that as well and let us see what are the practical chances for white. So white goes with the obvious move kf3. Now what would you do as black over here? In the game, black played h5 stopping kg4, but black should have played the move rook a4. The point was to cut off the king's entry to the 4th rank, but maybe black feared that white would get h5. White goes h5 for getting h6 and rook g7, but black himself can play h6 here. And this is what maybe black would have feared because the pawn structure is looking really weak. But if you see, now white has to do something about his king. Without the king's entry, he cannot make any progress. King e3, f3, and still the king cannot reach the 4th rank. So king cannot reach g6, rook cannot attack any of the pawns, and black can just wait. In some cases, he can give up the pawn on a6 as well. And since the pawn has moved to h5, there is no possibility of getting a g passed pawn. So this was black's best chance, and practically it was much easier than what he did in the game. Let's go to the game now and see after h5 what happened. So black went h5 in order to stop kg4. Now white plans to play f3 g4. So first he goes rook c7. Threat is now rook c5, forcing the black rook to go to a5. Now comes king f4. King f8, black has to just wait and white plays f3. Plan is simple. He wants to get g4 after hg, fg. He will have h5 and an outside passer. Black still waits. kg8, rook a7, f8, g4, h takes g4, f takes g4. This was again perhaps the last chance for black to hold the game, but it's a very tricky idea. I think practically it was very hard to foresee this idea. Black would have just waited still with kg8. And now h5, rook b5, giving up the pawn on a6. The point is after rook a6, kg7, black is able to hold this position because now what is happening? King cannot penetrate to g6 and there is no way to get the pawn on f6. Still white can try. He can go rook a7 check, kg8, h6, rook c5, rook just waits, and after rook g7 check, black has to play the precise king f8. If king h8, then rook g6 would be there. Now again rook g6 is just met by king f7, h7, and the final point rook c8. Very important move. Rook h6, kg7, rook h1. What would you play as black here? Here rook h8 would be a bad move because after king f5, rook h7, kh7, king f6, white will be winning. So black should just wait with the move rook a8. And here we see that now white cannot make any progress because as soon as king comes to f5, rook f5, ke6, rook e6 check, rook keeps on giving check. When the king moves away, then again rook goes back to 8. Game would be drawn. But this was very hard to foresee. That is what black missed in the game. Let's go back to the move played by black after fg4, 7 fg4. Black went rook a1. And the point is king gets to enter the 5th rank, and once king enters the 5th rank, we will have exact Lucena kind of positions. Black will have the a6 pawn, which doesn't change the result. You can check out my lessons on Lucena position in the playlist of rook endgame. So king f5, rook f1 check, kg6, rook f4, best chance to get one of the pawns. Trade the f pawn for g pawn, g5, fg, hg. Again black has two options. If rook g4, then just rook takes a6, rook g1, rook a8 check, a7. We reach a standard position, only winning move for white. Now the plan is simple. King is heading to h7. Let's say rook g2, king h7, rook h2, kg7, rook g2, g6, rook g1, rook a8. And now soon again same method. King will go to h7 or rook will come to a1. Let's say rook g2, rook a1. And then next move would be rook e1 check, and we reach the standard Lucena position for white. So let's go back to the game now. Here black tried rook a4, at least keeping hold of the a6 pawn, not giving it up. So rook a4 and now rook a8 check, we reach a similar position. ke7, white has a very simple and effective plan. instead of kg7, he directly goes king h6 instead of kg7. So rook h4 check, forcing the rook to west move, kg7. This is a very important gain of tempo. Rook again goes back to a4 or g4 as in the game, g6, again rook goes back to a4. See, this thing was forced and now again he can move the king to h7. Same technique once again, rook h4 check, kg8, rook g4, g7 and rook a4. See, this is how nicely white gained the tempo, and here it's not even necessary to get the Lucena kind of position. Now white has a very simple plan. He will just get his king to h7, and with the rook coming to h4 for a check, we will see that there is just gap of 2 files between the king and the rook, and the white king will attack in a zigzag manner and the rook will not have enough place. White just goes kh7, rook h4 check. This is what I meant. See, there are only 2 squares between the king and rook now. So the king can harass the rook. kg6, rook g4, king h6 keeping the g7 pawn protected, and now g8 queen is coming up. So if king f7, then just rook f8 check, king has to go away, and g8 queens, ke7 g8, rook g8 and white wins. So this is a typical technique using rook f8 check. Let's see the main move by black. So black was rook h4 check and now comes kg5. Yet again this was the point. Now the rook has to waste the move. Rook h1, g8 simply queens, as after rook g1, king f5, rook g8, white would soon pick the a pawn and win the game. So black had certain chances to hold the game, but see, practically white used his chances to the fullest. He used his better pawn structure and won the game. I hope you learned something new from this example. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.